we'll come back to some more hot takes and stuff soon, but we're going to go on to like a new segment on the show. Now, for now, let's introduce it. Yes, so now we are going to be entering the Phantom Zone. So,
I wish you could have put our faces in there.
I thought that was Dave's face.
Martin, do you know what, right? So, okay, so before I look at this, it's a great new introduction to the segment. We'll find out what it is soon. That is great, Dave. You froze totally there, right? You froze totally. I'm going to tell you what. I said this after the show, after Extreme Improv last night. With some of these new graphics and that, I can't see what the audience who watch or listen, well, the audience who just hear the podcast version, you need to tune in and watch the video version because you miss out so much. But I can't see their reactions, but I can see your reactions. So that's why I kept things a surprise, just so I could, for my own purposes, just see how you guys reacted to it. But I swear on my life, I think we should do a little bit of filming for the intros and stuff like that, and I'll update it. Because, like, the video, I use clips from us from the shows, but I think we just need to, like, grab our, like, iPhones and stuff and just, like, film a couple of cool things, and then we can literally put ourselves in the Phantom Zone. But
you can also give a voiceover for the audience. We are just playing a very cool video that you should definitely go to YouTube and check out.
Yeah, go to the Geek Battle YouTube channel, guys. It needs more subscribers. But with this, we are going to enter the Phantom Zone, and the format of this segment is familiar. If people are aware of like the shows like Room 101 or something like this. And the idea is, I'm going for this first week. So one of the changes with Geek Battle is that I'm going to give you a couple of topics or ideas, and you guys can throw topics in advance, so it gives people a sense of knowing what we might talk about. Because that way we can probably bring like a bigger conversation. Because if I gave this example yesterday, if I was like, "Hey, we're going to talk about like the original Lord of the Rings movies," you might be like, "Oh, I love them, but I haven't seen them in 9 years." Whereas if I said that we're going to talk about them next week, you might either decide to watch them, or you might, it'll give you a bit more time to think about them and what your views are.
For Lord of the Rings in particular, you have to give me some lead time. You have to give me at least 2 weeks. If you're going to watch,
we'll have the lead time. We'll have the lead time, and if people, it's not homework. If people want to prep stuff, then they can. If they don't want to, then it's no different than what it's been anyway. So with the Phantom Zone, after today's episode, I'm going to find out who would like to do it in advance. But the idea is one of you will submit your case for why something that you don't favour from the world of geek movies, video games, comics or whatever, some specific thing or some thematic thing should be banished, never to be seen or heard from again in the Phantom Zone. So have a thing now, because it's only going to be one of you. Hold this thought, Nick. It's only going to be one of you. I'm going to roll the dice to see who it's going to be. And it is Dave MC. So, Dave, I would like you to think for a second. What would you like to see banished to the Phantom Zone? We'll all then discuss, but you get to make your opening case of what you would like to see banished. And then we will put it to the vote of whether it will be entered into the Phantom Zone or it will be left to reign free in the world. Dave, what springs to mind?
The only thing that springs to mind, well, I'm holding it right now, something Doctor Who related.
Oh.
It is the, I've forgotten the number of the season, from Jodie's season, all of Jodie Whittaker's season.
All of Jodie Whittaker? Right, poor Jodie right there behind me.
I'm sorry, Jodie, you're amazing in Broadchurch, but in this, no.
Wow.
My reasoning is because what they kind of like having Jodie as being the first female Doctor, she had a lot of pressure on her shoulders,
Yeah.
And the stories did not help her case. That's more of a writing standpoint than anything else. Stories didn't exactly help her case. There were agendas thrown in there. So a prime example was the line was like, "No, the Doctor is a man. I've had an upgrade," as a slap in the face of everything that's come before. Having the Master be like a giddy, excitable child on caffeine. I don't know what they were thinking with what they did with the Master. And the very important thing is the timeless child. Why make the Doctor the center of the universe? The whole point of the Doctor is that the Doctor is not special. Yes, they're a Time Lord. Yes, they can regenerate, and yes, they have knowledge of the universe far exceeding anything a human has. But he's not the center of the universe. You know, he's not the secret of regeneration. He's not this, that, and the other. So I say, Jodie Whittaker season onwards, get rid of it. Just
wow. Okay, now look, we Dave, you were put on the spot here, and you've chosen a subject where probably I'm the only other one that's watched it.
I'm really sorry. So it's all. I'm sorry, guys. It's the only thing that came to head.
I have thoughts on this.
Okay,
but I mostly agree with Dave.
Okay, why?
So I started watching Doctor Who with the Jodie Whittaker season. I'm like, there's gotta be, and one of my good friends told me that was the worst Doctor ever. And then I started watching like the David Tennant season, and then everything that was like the modern Doctor Who from Eccleston forward. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I like everything except the Jodie Whittaker stuff. That, and I also have issues with the Sonic. I have.
What's your issues with the Sonic screwdriver?
So the Doctor Who should not have, the character of Doctor Who should not have like a key to all technology and like that just handles everything. It's
most of the Doctors have had it, Nick. Most of the Doctors have had it.
I'm aware, but it's still like a giant plot device. It's like Batman has the power of bullshitsu, as my friends say. He's like,
it's a bad credit card. It buys everything.
Exactly. And he has every possible plan for every possible contingency. And that's just not a thing. I feel the same way about the Sonic.
Okay. So I'll give a quick thoughts, and then we can. Anyone else that wants to put thoughts into it, and then we'll put it to a vote. Bless you to whoever sneezed.
It's the wife. It's the wife.
Right. So my thoughts are: say, obviously, Dave, you were put on the spot, and I'm completely with you. If we would say the Timeless Child storyline, because I think it's probably the worst thing they've ever done in Doctor Who to kill the lore. As a performance, I thought Jodie Whittaker's acting as the Doctor was very much in the realm of David Tennant and Matt Smith's energy and stuff, and I just think she never had the good writing to back it up. So I don't know. I think the Timeless Child storyline I would happily put into there. You can't rewrite what's obviously already been, but I don't know that I'd put the entire thing since then. There was the Weeping at Angels episode with Jodie Whittaker in was actually, to me, the best story they did with her. But and that I don't know, that's a episode I'd happily rewatch. But
I was really disappointed on Matt Smith's Angel episode because like I just came off watching David Tennant.
Which one? Which one, Cap?
The one where there's like with the new girl who is Nebula. She was in it. And there was a blonde doctor as well. I think she was a blonde, probably a doctor. Probably.
Oh my God, River Song.
River Song.
You know what, this is literally all of the Weeping Angels episodes from the Matt Smith era. We haven't.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be more specific, Cap.
Are they in caves or are they
probably
in a
the first
hotel?
one, I think.
Yeah,
okay.
I love that story. I love that.
There was this time thing. There was this time wall thing that was like ripping throughout the whole thing.
I love that story.
No, that's a good one.
Yeah.
No, they're not scary anymore. The first one that was really scary. This one,
I do agree that they perhaps had a little bit of they broke some of their own rules within that story. But anyway, we're gonna get massively off point here.
I one more thing to add.
Go on, Nick.
I've always thought that the Doctor, instead of being like is more of a similar to like the Watcher in Marvel. Like he watches and experiences and interacts, but he's not like the main, the thing that causes all the events. He just observes similar to like Uatu in Guardians of the Galaxy or the Watchers in Marvel. So,
what I will say, Nick, on that front is that he was actually a part of major history in that not the Pompeii story, but he was actually in the first incarnation was in Rome when the Great Fire happened.
which I have never. That's like super. That's the first Doctor, right?
That's the first Doctor.
Yeah, like I said, I started in the Eccleston era. Was the first one
let's hold this thoughts, guys, because we're gonna we need to like manage like time because we've still got some games and things to get to, and perhaps some other chat. Tim, Marty, do you have any particular thoughts on this? If you haven't seen it,
I have not seen it, so I will not. Other than loving Jodie Whittaker, I've just not seen it.
Yeah, Tim, same deal with you.
I've not seen it, but I really think that everyone's thoughts are well worded, and I think everyone did a really good job of presenting their case.
Okay, good. So what I'm going to say, I'm going to say a proposal, and if the people are in favour of it, then I'll say this is what we can send into the Phantom Zone. Rather than send the entire Jodie Whittaker era, which I think was more missed than hit, I think we could probably all agree that the Timeless Child storyline, which broke the law and changed the history of the entire 60 years of the show, that alone is an easy candidate to go in there.
I was going to ask, could I change it to the Timeless Child?
Let's just flush the Timeless Child, guys.
Yeah.
We're going to get a dramatic flush thing, but we're now going to send it, boom, into the Phantom.
Sorry, Jodie Whittaker.
Look.
No,
I hope she comes back to be the Doctor at some point. Because to me, she can have a redemption thing, just like I always say about Andrew Garfield coming back as Spider-Man. With the right writing, he was awesome when it came to it.
She is, but she's doing Big Finish audios now. So I think with Big Finish, she will be okay.
Okay.
Like what you guys said is it's a creative process, It's not just, it could be the writing, it could be the directing. It's, pinning it just on one actor or actress is difficult.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's got their own. I didn't like Matt Smith, so.
Oh, I loved Matt Smith as the Doctor. I loved Matt Smith.